This has been in my family, but my father is Navajo and Apache, and my mom's Cherokee. And the one stories I heard, trickster stories, were of Coyote, and that's basically the first story I told him at the Heritage Center was Coyote putting the stars up in the sky. And he told me that when I was 7 years of age on a trip to Arizona. He basically came walking out. We're sitting there. We're at the stops at Amarillo, Texas, because my dad drove. My mom didn't drive. And there was less light diffusion out there. So stars covered one end of the earth to the other. Never seen anything like it. It's gorgeous. So I'm looking at all the stars. And I like stars when I was little anyway, along with dinosaurs. And so my dad comes walking up and he says, "Do you know how the stars got up in the sky?" And I said, "Big bang, big ball of dust." He says, "No, sit down." And he told a story about this coyote to put stars up in the sky. Eventually, the coyote couldn't figure out how to make his face look bigger than everybody else's and gets frustrated, throws the stars and scatters them. And that's why they're scattered everywhere. But he told this involved story, and the creator put the moon up in the sky to make the coyote sing because that's his punishment. You have to sing when the moon and the sun are in the sky, which is why you hear coyotes howling at dawn and dusk. And so I'm sitting there on the ride all the way back to Arizona to visit relatives. And I start asking my dad questions. Which animal did the coyote put up first? He said, "There's a bear up there, there's a deer up there. If you look hard enough, you can see all the animals up there." And I said, "Oh." And as I kept asking him questions, he just thought I was some little kid just asking him questions on the drive to Arizona. What he didn't realize, what I was doing was I was gathering all this information so that when I had it all in my head, I was sitting there all by myself and I would tell the story over and over inside my head. By the time I got to Arizona, I had the story down pat. So, and I never told it to anybody. I would just sit there, and if I'd get bored, my mom would sit there, "Hey, we gotta get clothes. Let's go get some clothes here. CCF money came in. We're gonna go get some clothes." And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I didn't want to go get clothes. Sitting there in the stairs. "How's this look?" "Fine." "You didn't even look at it." "Looks good." So I'd sit there, my mom be looking for clothes, and I'd be sitting there. A long time ago, the creator of everything looked down and saw all the animals and started reciting the story that my dad had told me when I was little. I remember going out to college, sitting there, and they would go out and have these campouts. And hey, all right, they're sitting there. "Let's tell a story." One would say, "I got this one with this claw. I'll do this claw story." And out there, the campers, "Anybody know any stories?" And I would say, "Yeah, I know." And I would tell them my dad's story. And when I got done, they'd all be looking at the stars and go, "Wow, that was pretty cool." Again, didn't think anything about it. And so that's the one I pulled out when I told those kids. And that started everything. He would sing over us. He actually sang over all of us when we were born, because Navajos sing over their children. First one, he wanted to be as a boy. Wanted the boy to be just like him. Philip, my oldest brother, acts an awful lot like my dad. The second one, he wanted to be smart, intelligent. John Mark's extremely intelligent. He became an engineer. Next one, he wanted to sing over. Wanted to be an artist, and that's me. I became an artist. And the last one, he said he wanted to run his own business. Paul runs the paper, or his co-owner of the paper in Pryor, Oklahoma. So all of us ended up doing something. And that was from my mom and my dad's influence. And it's another thing, because one of the teachers would come up to my mom and says, "Mrs. Lewis, I've had the honor of having all four of your sons in my classes. They've been respectful, they've been kind, they've been courteous. I can't understand. I would like to thank you for having your children here, but what's your secret? How do you have such well-behaved boys?" My mom said, "Daily beatings." Because that was the threat. You go do something good, they got this stick here in this belt, or dad's going to get rid of you, one or the other. So we all had to do good in school. Because my mom graduated from Sequoia High School in 1952. I went up to the school and I found her photograph of her graduating, and she's sitting there with her cap and gown. My dad is actually captured off the reservation in Arizona when he was 5 years of age and taken to a boarding school. And he made it to sixth grade, and as far as he got, Shiprock, New Mexico. But he learned a trade in shoemaking business. He always wanted to have his own little shoe shop. But he also knew how hard it was if you didn't have an education. So that's what they all encouraged. "You're going to get to school, make good grades." So